Hi guys, welcome back. We are still working on the small but mighty dragon. In this video we are working on spikes for the back of the head. And of course you're following along the written pattern, and that is up there. So at the time of this filming, that I was filming the spikes, I haven't decided what I want to do with the back of the head for this guy here. But I made a number of them so you could see how many could fit back here. And you can see I can fit 9 quite comfortably back here, and even more if I wanted to. And like the pattern tells you, you can make spikes or horns, or both. You can do horns and spikes on the same head. Alright, but this video is going to cover the spikes only. Okay, so the other thing to know, and of course you know this by reading the written pattern, there's 2 lengths for the spikes. There's a longer one, and then there's a shorter one. We'll do the shorter one together on film. If you want to make the longer one, just watch what I'm doing here. The longer one uses the exact same stitches as this one here. The only difference is the number of chains and the number of time you use each one of those stitches. So let's do the shorter one. We're going to make our slip knot, and for the shorter one we're going to chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. There's our chain of 6, and starting in the second chain from the hook, there's the first one. We're starting in the second one. We're going to put a single crochet in the next 3 chains, and then a half double crochet in the last 2 chains. 1 single crochet in the first, single crochet into the second, and remember when you go through to have 2 loops of that chain on top and 1 loop of the chain on the bottom. There's our second one, going into the third one, and now we're going to put a half double crochet in the last 2 chains. So the one we just worked will have a bigger loop. So yarn over, half double crochet in the next, and last one, half double crochet in the last chain. I'll finish row 2, and now we have 5 stitches across. We're going to chain 2 and turn, and if you're making the longer spike, you're still going to be chaining 2 and turning. We're going to skip that chain that we made, and we're going to put a half double crochet in the first 2 stitches. One single crochet in the next 2 stitches. And now we're going to finish off with a slip stitch into that last stitch of the row. Make sure you go through both loops of that stitch. Grab your yarn, pull it through. Instead of yarning over, just pull the first loop through the second. And now you can finish off. Leave a tail for sewing up a spike, and also for sewing the spike to the head. So you see this starting yarn tail is on this side closest to you. Flip it so it's on the side furthest from you. That way when you fold this, it has a nicer look on the outside. But we're going to get rid of this starting yarn tail by hiding it inside the spike, so we're going to hold it inside while we sew around it. So just cut it up shorter than the spike itself, and now we're going to fold the spike so the edges touch. Now the first one's a little bit awkward to get into because we're working the very tip, but we're going to be sewing the outer loops together. The outer loops all the way down. So the first ones, there we go, takes a little bit of work to get in there, and pull tight. Now the rest of the loop should be a little bit easier to get into. Okay, and the last one we're going to knot off. So before we pull it all the way through, we're going to go through that loop and then pull tight. Alright guys, that brings us to the end of this video. You can decide how many spikes you want to make and what length you want to make them. In the next video, the one that's popping up on your screen, you can click that box, I will show you how to do the horns. So that's the next option, and I'll meet you over there.